Hello, I'm Lindsay. Welcome to your at-home yoga practice. So today we will be focusing on hips and hamstrings, create some space and length in the body and maybe some ease in through the back and just feel really good. But before we get started, it's good to have props nearby so that you can support your practice. If you don't have traditional props such as blocks and straps, take a moment now, pause the video and go grab what you have in your home. So for blocks, books or pots are good. Sherry mentioned pots in an earlier video. So grabbing a pot. For a strap, you can use a tie, a scarf, a towel is really good. And then in other videos, pillows and blankets and cushions from your couch are really good to have nearby as well. So just some tips when you're doing your at-home yoga practice is to prepare with those items. And of course, a mat or something that works for you at home. Again, doesn't have to be fancy, just stuff that can really support your practice. Good. So we'll begin, and as always, I always want to encourage everyone to do, what is working best for you in this moment, in this time, in regards to the depth in which you want to take a posture. Check in with your energy levels, emotional level, and just your physical body. And it's good to do that on a regular basis so we get a baseline on how we're feeling. So then when something is wrong or something is off in any of those areas, we do have that greater awareness to know, and then we can, do something about it or just, keep an eye on it or whatever it may be. So let's take a moment now, either in a comfortable seated position or laying down. You choose to just center and bring ourselves into this space for our time together. So closing your eyes comfortably, if you're seated, sitting up, tall yet comfortable, or laying down, again, wherever you prefer. Nice deep breath in and out to begin here. Just beginning to bring that conscious awareness just into your breathing. As we breathe in and out, we just try to, soften the edges a little bit. Notice the areas in which we might be holding on tightly, kind of gripping, clenching. And we just work towards allowing those areas to soften. We start to bring our attention just more and more into the breathing and away from those constant passing thoughts that go to our past, to our future. In this time especially, there's a lot of worry, there's anxiousness, there's an unsettling feeling maybe of what's happening next. So allow this time, your yoga, to bring you just back to a space of now and presence and just breathing, because maybe that's all you can do right now. That's all we have control over right now. And even curl the corners of your lips up ever so slightly into a nice soft smile. And gently open your eyes, and let's begin. We're going to come into a seated position. So if it's comfortable, to sit cross-legged, do that. Maybe sitting upon your block book or your pot as well. So comfortable seated position. Bring our hands on either side of our legs here and just tiptoe your fingertips away on the right side. Plant the hand, soften the elbow down, and just not allow yourself to shrug into your shoulder. Press the ground away as left arm sweeps up and over. And as we sweep up and over, turn the left palm down, pinky gently in, and drive that left side of the body into the floor. And we start to create that resistance, that openness in that side body here. That pinky drawing in just allows the shoulder to drop down with more ease. Find your depth, find that resistance that you feel, that stretch sensation, and then come on over to the opposite side when you're ready. Right arm up and over here. Again, remember to create space in your shoulder, drop it down, press the ground away, curl that chest skyward, really nice, and then Coming back, both hands on either side of the legs for a seated twist here. So taking that right hand just to the floor at the base of the spine, almost allowing that arm to be like a second spine for you. Turning towards the right side, shoulder down the back, left arm to sky, and then just coming to rotate with left hand to outer right leg here. So we're pressing down into the floor, into the leg ever so slightly, and then we start to move into that twist. Keeping that tall yet comfortable spine. Just letting the head and the eyes go where it's comfortable. Maybe they start to turn to look behind you. And again, it's just about landing in a posture, feeling what you feel. So if it feels too much, then just ease off. If it doesn't feel enough, then move just a little bit more. Create that mindfulness and that awareness. And then when you're ready, coming right to the opposite side, placing that left hand on the floor, either through fingertips or palm. I like fingertips. Makes me feel nice and tall and long. Let that left shoulder relax down. Again, turn, slowly rotate into the twist here, maintaining tall spine. Another thing we can start to pay attention to when we land in a posture is notice what's going on with your breathing. So if you find that your breathing is short and rigid and it's hard to get in and out, that's an indication to kind of ease off a little bit. Find a different spot in the posture, adjust. Good, let's come back all the way to center here. We're gonna come on to hands and knees and just move through a few cat and cow breaths. Great way to decompress. Fingers at a comfortable distance apart, knees under hips, pressing the ground away. Use that exhale breath. Move into that cat spine. So imagining in your mind the tilting of your tailbone down towards the backs of your knees. Rounding into upper back, chin tucking, navel to spine. Really using hands to press the ground away. And then that inhale breath brings you into that cow spine. So we tilt that tailbone now upwards. We send the chest through the arms skyward. Slight gaze up. And then back into that rounded cat spine. And this is a great option here to just start moving with your breathing. So allowing the postures to fall in line with your in-breath, with your out-breath. And just taking a slight pause in between the breathing, in between the postures here. Good, and just one more round, taking it nice and slow as we begin to flow with our breath and, focus in on syncing the breath and movement. The fluctuations of the mind begin to slow. We begin to move more inward. Good, so we'll come back into that table position and we'll prepare ourselves for plank pose. So if wrists are really sensitive, I encourage you, to come down onto your forearms. So either option there. We're going to begin in our supported plank pose by taking the knees just beyond the hips here into more of a supported version. I'm just going to move up my mat a little bit here. And then the knees are beyond the hips here. So you're feeling that strength. And you don't want the hips to drop below the shoulders. Keep them in the same plane as the shoulders here. If you ever feel aching or anything, just adjust, lift the hips a little higher. And otherwise, you don't want them lifted too high because you're coming in more to a table position. So you should feel just that little bit of strength here. And then start to press the ground away, squeeze and hug everything as if you're trying to drag your hands to your knees. You can untuck the toes if you like or keep them tucked. Good. And again, taking the moment just to feel what we feel. And if we need a little bit more, we can try then lifting the knees up. So now that the hips, ankles, shoulders are now in one nice long line, we don't want to feel the hips dropping. That'll hurt our back. It'll ache our back. We don't want our hips too high because we're losing the whole benefit of the posture. So let's find a nice strong plank wherever you need to be. Knees down. Knees up, maybe forearms are on the mat instead. Where do you feel in the posture strong, challenged, but your breath is still flowing with ease? So you're not having that feeling of the breath is stopping, it's rigid. Yeah, just a few more breaths here. You can do this. That mental determination in these more challenging postures. letting our breath take us through. Good. Let's come down, bring the knees down just for a moment here. And we'll prepare for downward facing dog. So walking the hands maybe just further up, adjusting them. So we want our fingers at a comfortable distance. And what I like to do is get those shoulders back where they need to be in downward facing dog, is to bend the elbows out to the side. It's almost as if you're doing a push-up, and then scoop them in, draw the shoulders back. Good. As you press down more through the knuckles of your hands, not so much the heel of your hands. As you begin to lift the knees away from the floor, adjust the feet. Keep the knees really bent for now. So as we keep the knees really bent, we begin to take that tailbone skyward. What we want is that extension in the spine here, melting the heart down towards the legs. And then we can begin to maybe straighten the legs a little more, not losing the integrity of the spine. Good. So tilting tailbone, melting heart. Even a little micro bend is always nice. Feeling those heels draw in. Tailbone to sky. Really nice. So downward facing dog from here. Let's take our right leg up. Breathe in, reach up. Like you're drawing a line from floor to ceiling. Flex into the foot. Feel the strength wrap around the bone in the leg. Good. Lift from inner thigh. Nice. Look forward. Take your time. Right foot to the top of the mat. Now help yourself get there. Good. As you arrive there, wiggle that left foot back maybe a little bit more. Pad the knee as needed, maybe with a towel or a pillow. Untuck the toe. Take a breath in. Lift up into low lunge. So we'll take that right hip gently back, left hip gently forward. Sit tall. Good. Lift the fingertips, draw them inward. Allows the shoulders to drop down with more ease. The eyes. Good. Lift belly button to chest, chest to sky. Open up. Good. Nice big breath. Really nice. Let it go. Good. Let's release the hands down towards the floor here. Tuck the back toe under and lift the knee. Good. Remember this though. Lunge can be done back knee up or down. So always take the option that's going to work the best for you at any point in time. So with our higher lunge here, knee is lifted, really strong in that back leg. Spread the toes of both feet. Press down. Left hand to the floor or grabbing that block or that pot or that book to press down to twist. Right arm reaching to sky. So back hip pulls back and in. We press down through our left hand. Right arm to sky. Scoop the chest up. Take a nice big breath. Good. On that next exhale, let's release, framing off that foot once again. Back knee taps down. Untuck the toe, straighten that front leg. So another great place for books or blocks under the hands as they frame off this front leg. Take a nice big breath in. Press the ground away. Spread the toes. Reach the toes towards you. Press out through the ball of the foot. Feel as if you're trying to drag this right heel to the back of the mat. Left hip drawing forward. Good. Seeing how this feels here, you want to feel that sensation of stretch in the back of that right leg with the option to maybe fold in a little more. Taking a few breaths. We never want to move past that deeper place where if you pushed further, it may cause pain or injury. Really nice. Lift the chest on the breath in. Come into that lunge once again. Good. So preparing with some blocks if you need them or your books here. We're going to pick up the back leg here. Come into a standing split. So our weight's going to come more and more forward. We're going to start to crawl forward nice and easy. Back leg's going to slowly lift away. Now maybe it's just a few inches. Standing leg can be really bent. We're using that strength, pressing down to slowly lift ourselves up. Good. Maybe folding over that standing leg. Again, lift from inner thigh, left leg, spread the toes, think strength. Good. Continue to fold over that leg, maybe looking towards that standing leg. Options here, continue to use the floor with your hands, blocks or whatever is going to help you feel steady. Maybe a hand comes behind the ankle, maybe another hand. Good. Taking your time here, breathing. Good, let's land in a forward fold, top of the mat. Nice big exhale breath, fold in. So in a forward fold here, just going to adjust my shirt there. Spreading the toes nice and wide, pressing down through those heels. So really transferring your weight so it's distributed evenly through your feet, top, bottom, sides, toes, and then pressing down, feeling the thigh bones like they're reaching back, sit bones up. Good, finding that nice forward fold, and even see if you can release the head. Shake it one way and the other. Really nice decompression in the upper back here. Good. And then when you're ready, press down through the feet with a soft bend in knees. Take a big inhale, breath all the way up to stand. Reach and rise. Lift the heart. Good. Look forward, release the arms. And we're going to come into chair pose here. So we're going to bend into knees. Maybe bring hands to hips. I like hands to hips. To come into a posture. We're going to draw our weight back into our heels so we're light in our toes. Imagine something in between the knees so you have that feeling of hugging in. Good. So sink the hips back to your depth. Good. With the hands on the hips, tilt that tailbone down. Feel the hip points draw in and up here. So you get that fullness in the lower back, kind of that strength, that hugging in, that subtle engagement through center. And an inhale breath, arms come up, chair pose. Good, nice strong chair, arms lift, chest lifts, eyes lift. Again, remembering to breathe when we come into these more challenging postures, or to tap into that, that mental determination and motivation to keep us here, keep us focused. What a beautiful part of the practice that we can integrate. Good. Taking this one last full breath. You got this. Really nice. Let's bring our hands onto our hips once again. Once again, our right foot's going to stay forward. Left foot comes big step back into that lunge once again. This time high lunge. Arms up, breathe and stretch. Really strong left leg here. Good. Let's take one more breath. Nice. We're going to take that back heel, spin it down flat so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Open into warrior two. Good. So taking a few moments, set yourself up into warrior two. Fix my microphone there. So that back foot, we want to press down through the pinky edge of that foot here. Spread the toes on both feet. Bend into this front knee to a comfortable depth. Sit up nice and tall, eyes forward. And one thing to note, just notice if you're tilting your body too forward or too back. So you want to have this alignment of shoulders over hips, lengthening in the side body. Kind of squeeze the shoulders together. Good. So let's open up the front palm, trace the ceiling with our eyes as our left hand gently drops the back leg, right arm comes to sky. Continue to reach through that right knee as right arm reaches straight up or slightly back. Good. As we hold here for this last breath or two, again, just really focus. Right knee reaching forward and slightly towards right pinky toe. Good, strong left leg. One more breath, inhale. Good, we're going to windmill the hands all the way down to the floor here. Pick up that back heel. Set yourself up into the lunge. Plant your hands, step into plank. So find that plank once again. That works best for you. Good, knees down, knees up. Hug everything in, inner thighs spin, tailbone reaches, crown ahead in the opposite direction reaching. Good, nice and strong. Coming into our downward dog, elbows out, hug in, lift hips, reach up, melt heart, bend knees as needed. Good, take a nice deep breath. Good. When you're ready, left leg to sky. Nice big breath. Inhale. Reach and stretch it up nice and strong. Spread the toes. Look forward. Step through. So if your foot doesn't go all the way through, I want you to tap the knee down. Walk your hands back. Allow yourself to come forward. Blocks are really good to bring that height here. So take your time with yourself. Good. Untuck the toes out back. Inhale into that low lunge. So again, sitting up nice and tall, reaching through the fingers, eyes to sky. Good, spread toes. Like you're drawing a line from floor to ceiling with the eyes. Just come to your depth, lifting, opening, elevating, breathing. Beautiful. Let's take it down. Both hands frame off. Right hand under, floor, block, book, whatever you have here. Press down, back leg lifts, and when you're ready, twisting left arm to sky. So think about this left hip, draw back and in here. Strong right leg, curl the chest upwards. Good. Again, I like to come from fingertips. I feel more open, more lengthening. Good. Hug everything in, pause, breathe, be here. Again, our breath is this really amazing tool that we can just draw our focus into. We can all make it through 2 breaths. Good, let's take it down. Good, tap that right knee down, half split. So come on back, straighten that front leg, and lift the toes. Good, press out through the ball of the foot. Nice big breath, inhale, chest lift. Exhale, slow fold in. So feel this left hip has this tendency to start to poke out. So draw it back and in. Keep pressing that right hip forward. Keep feeling like you want to drag left heel to the back of the mat. Good. Okay, when you take that next breath in, just start to lift the chest, eyes forward, bend back into that standing leg. And prepare yourself with hands on the floor, your blocks or your tools, your support here for that standing balance. So we begin to walk our hands more and more forward. Weight draws more and more into this left leg. Be in no rush here. Take your time, find stability, find steadiness. Keep the knee bent as much as possible. Maybe start by just having the big toe on the floor behind you. Maybe lifting up. Again, your practice, your time, doing what feels best for you is the really, best approach. So we start to fold. We start to get really strong in that right leg. And then arm variation of choice, grabbing an ankle with one hand. This is my more unstable side. So I will probably wiggle a little more with both hands. Good. And then when you're ready, stabilize your hands. Right foot meets left. This time widen the feet just a little bit more. Bend into those knees and find a dangle. So the deeper the bend, the deeper release. Low back, spine, head, neck, shoulders. A little bounce, a sway. Imagine you're like a salt and pepper shaker up and down. And we have a really hard time letting go of that head, that neck. Good. And then let's release. Walk the feet back to that comfortable distance. Spread down through the feet. Spread the toes with soft bended knees. Inhale. Rise all the way up once again. Nice big breath. Lift the heart. And then exhale. Hands down through center here. Good. I'm just going to turn and come to this side of the mat. Okay, so back into our chair pose one last time. Bend into those knees, hands to hips. So I like to look down first so my knees go behind my toes. Our weight starts to drop back. Again, hugging in. Imagine you're holding on to something there. My eyes start to lift. Okay, with my hands, I feel that tailbone tilt slightly under. Good, that subtle engagement comes through center and arms up. Maybe a nice big smile. Let the focus go there. Shift the perspective. Say, this is great. This is awesome. I love chair pose. We breathe. We know that we're getting stronger, mind, body, soul, in each of these postures that we come to. Good. Take that last full breath. Maybe sink the hips. Tailbone tucks. Keep that subtle engagement. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands to hips. Good. Right foot to back of mat. So find your way there. Stabilize, sit tall, draw that subtle engagement through center, extend arms up, fingertips to sky. Good, so feeling it in those legs, that's for sure. Nice big breath in and out, and we'll turn into that warrior two once again. Good. So find that alignment with our feet. Good. Sit up nice and tall in our body. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Good. Our feet are this foundation for us. So in every standing posture, we want to focus on having the feet, pressing down, toes spread. Good. So find that comfortable depth for that left knee. Tendency is it starts to drop inwards. We want to press it towards that pinky toe as we open into that reverse warrior, keeping that left knee as it is, opening up. So left arm's reaching maybe straight up, maybe slightly back. Good. Left knee's reaching forward. Beautiful. Not a lot of weight dropping back on that leg, just gently pressing. I love fingertips just lightly placed there. And I want you to take one more nice deep breath. Reach out through that left knee, left arm back. Beautiful. Windmill the hands. Let's come on back. Pick up the back heel. And we'll make our way to plank pose. So that might mean first dropping knee, leg back, coming to forearms, staying on your wrists. Finding your version of this pose. Don't be afraid to take the time to get here. We'll be here for a few breaths. Again, whatever version that is for you, hug in, press the ground away, lengthen in either direction. Good. So feel nice quads, reaching out through the heels, the tailbone, the lower back reaching towards the back of the mat, pressing the ground away. Breathing deeply. You guys are awesome. Let's come to down dog. Bend the elbows, scoop them in, press it back. Comfortable distance with those fingers. Good. And then coming to that comfortable downward dog for a few last breaths here. Good. When you're ready, tap the knees down. Bring those big toes together, knees nice and wide, and we'll come into a really nice, well-deserved child's pose. So you can extend the arms if you'd like, drop the forehead down. This is a great place to have that pillow right underneath the body if you'd like, just to really snuggle in. Even a block or books or that pillow in between the feet to support your body dropping down. And settle into this nice restorative posture. And child's pose is a deep forward fold. It's a forward fold, family poses of forward folds, which are done, like this, or seated or standing. They promote calm and peace and ease. They allow us to just maybe drop in for a moment, check in, find some space and quiet to just breathe for a few moments. Allow ourselves to catch up, to process. And this is why yoga is this practice that we can take off the mat and utilize in our day. And take as much time here if you like. And when you're ready, just slowly getting up. And whenever you get up from a forward fold, letting the eyes just come up last to avoid any dizziness, especially if you have low blood pressure. I have really low blood pressure, so I always have to get up nice and slow when I come from any kind of forward folds. This was wonderful. I really hope you enjoyed the practice today. And to close, we'll just take a few extra moments here together. Take our arms out to the side. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, lift the arms, reach up. And then just float the arms down. Exhale, eyes come forward once again. We'll do that 2 more times. Nice big breath. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, and release. One more time. We inhale, reach and stretch. And exhale, release. Close your eyes. Thank yourself for showing up today. It's hard to do at home, especially if you have a busy household. So give yourself a pat on the back, showing up today, doing what makes your body feel the best, taking the time out that you deserve and that you need and that we all need to create this balance and symmetry in our lives. Touch the palms together at heart center and bow the head ever so slightly. This signifies gratitude for ourselves and everyone around us. Have a beautiful day wherever you are in your day, and we'll see you again soon. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you again next time.